There are plenty of pretty voices with nothing to say. Do you have something to say?
Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. Yeah! I get a feeling that I never had before.
You're the girl with the deaf family?
Yeah. I just want to tell you right now.
And you sing. Interesting.
Something's got a hold on me here.
What are you doing next year?
Working with my family.
Let me tell you now, I've got a feeling, I feel so strange. Everything about me seems to have changed.
I've been coaching for Berklee College of Music. I can help you get a scholarship.
I won't let go. I said, oh, 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 oh,
I want to do this.
There are plenty of pretty voices with nothing to say. Do you have something to say?
You will be required to have a hearing individual on board at all times.
I can't stay with you for the rest of my life. I've never done anything without my family before. You're all that I need to get by.
Hi, Paula. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello.
All right, you guys are all set to go.
Thank you. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Where are you?
I'm in Los Angeles.
I thought so with the time.
What about you?
I'm actually in Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous day. Like one of the few perfect days where, you know, it's just spectacular outside. You can hear.
Yeah, I guess your winter's about to start anytime, right?
No. Well, not winter, but maybe in the cooler weather. Yeah, for sure. And I actually I moved last year a little north of the city, not as far north as certain New England parts where CODA takes place, for instance, but not terribly far either. You know, I moved up at 100 miles north of New York.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yeah, it's not. I don't live in a fishing community. How did you? But where are you from? Are you?
I'm from Mexico City.
Where?
Mexico City?
Mexico City. I heard of that. That's the one that's in Mexico, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I was down in the Zona Rosa once.
Yeah, Zona Rosa is not so nice anymore, but Mexico
Yeah.
City is pretty cool.
No, it is. And I went to the Frida Kahlo Museum. I was just down there for an afternoon, switching flights to another part. I was going to I'm trying to remember the name of the state, north of Mexico City, but I had the whole afternoon. And so back then when this took place, when I went there, you know, it was pre 9/11, and you could, you know, if you could get off, if you had like 6 hours, you could just go off and do your thing and then come back to the airport. I don't know if you could do that now.
Yeah, I don't think so. And also there's so much traffic too.
Yeah, there was, well, there was then too, but I had a great time. And how grateful I am also to that I was able to, or this was set up that I would be able to meet you because I may not, I may, God forbid, I hadn't seen CODA. It was such a beautiful story.
Oh, thank you.
How did you, a Mexican girl like yourself, end up in shooting this New England story about a deaf family and the whose daughter not only is not deaf, but is in a position of constantly having to be the conduit of communication between her family and the rest of the world in many cases, as well as just happens to have this gorgeous voice, which requires an ear, of course, two working ears. So it's a great story. But how did you end up on the core team of CODA?
Of CODA. Well, because I have met Sian Heder, the director, many years ago when we were both students at AFI.
Oh, okay.
So we did like 2 short films together. One of them made it all the way to Cannes. And then we did Tallulah, the film with Ellen Page and Alison Jennings.
Yes.
And then
Elliot
we worked
Page.
on Elliot Page now, yes.
No.
And then we did Little America for Apple together. So I've known her a long time.
So I was thinking about the story and how, as a cinematographer, how it was, had to be complicated. Or let me rephrase that. It must have required a lot of conversation. How do you shoot people signing so much of the time during the film and make it cinematic?
Yes.
Did you talk about that in detail?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was definitely part of the process. Sort of like you can't do such a close up where you lose the hands. You need to, like, hands are the source of language, and also you have to block actors where you can see them. Like, you can't do an actor walking away from camera saying a line. And so I mean, I guess that's just part of the language.
Yeah.
Of the film.
Interestingly, I had this weird copy and I will admit that I didn't have subtitles.
Oh no.
Can I just say something? I've never tried this before, but and I want people that are watching or listening to us talking that there's a significant amount of sign language that happens in a number of the scenes, but I got it all.
You did? Well, no, I thought I had got it.
I got it all
when we were filming, but actually, there's a lot more that I didn't get when we were filming, and I think it's all the subtle, like, sense of humor, and like Troy and Marlee are incredible, and there's like they add so much more than what was written on the script. So I was actually surprised when I saw the film finished.
Yeah. There is a lot of humor in the film, and I really appreciated there was a moment at the school concert where it's really just this beautiful moment that you shot where you were looking at the parents, and the brother, Ruby's, right? It's Ruby, right?
Yes.
Yeah, her family, and they're just looking at, they're taking cues from the rest of the audience. Oh, okay, here's because they can't hear the end of the song or know that. But there's a beautiful, you got so inside their head, and then finally they do end up taking the audio out. So you understand how their perspective, what their perspective is. There's a lot of just beautiful moments in the film, I have to say. It's very, very caught up. What were other challenges? Was shooting on, sorry about that, I forgot to set up my stop certain notifications ahead of time. I'm traveling, so Was shooting on the water, right? You had to do that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was definitely challenging because there's like safety issues for the crew and for the actors. And there's also a limit to the amount of crew that can be on the boat.
Is that right?
Yeah. And there's also like regulations about fishing, like from the authority and all that. And you can only fish once before the fish die. So you have to, like, the boat had to go there ahead of time and like troll and get like all the fish up, and then we had to arrive at the right time to pull the fish net. I think you can do it only like once or twice before all the fish are dead.
Wow. That's interesting because on a meta level, right? Because you had all these parameters that you had to work with as a crew. And meanwhile, the characters were also dealing with the same issue in the storyline.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and also, I mean, they had to learn how to fish as well, and we went a couple of times there to get familiar with the process, and yeah, it was quite interesting.
Was this the biggest production that you've worked on, or the most involved so far?
No, I mean, I think I've done other projects that were more technically challenging,
Right. Okay.
or like bigger in scope, but I think, I mean, this one is a project that's very dear to me and that I can relate emotionally. And
Why so?
and well, because
Talk about
I think to me it worked in many levels. Like, I think maybe it's not like one of the most cinematically challenging, or like where I could show more style, or like, I think it was a very organic, sort of natural approach to filmmaking, and I felt like the beauty came more from the nature and the landscape rather than being stylized or like overly lit or like calling attention to the camera. Like,
That's
I
a good
think,
point. And the house had a lot of character too. Their home.
yeah, the house was falling down, so there was also that. We can only there could only be like a certain amount of people upstairs before it crumbled.
Oh, is this how the opportunity or this house became available because they were going to tear it down or something? Or
No, it was.
was it being inhabited? Was it inhabited?
Yeah, it was inhabited,
Okay.
but it was a little bit in disrepair. But it was beautiful because of that.
Right. There was something about it which feels just right, you know, considering something about the family, you know. But I, you know, because I don't have the writer here and the director, so you'll have to be there, a little bit of their avatar as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, Paula, because you know, I want people to see it, and if they haven't seen it yet, and I'm going to watch it again with subtitles. But you know,
Yeah, you'll be surprised. There's a lot of humor.
Oh, I bet. No, I even got that. I could tell. It all came through really, you know, through your work and through the director and through these wonderful actors. You know, it's definitely going to be. I'll admit to you, because we're now friends, that I cried a lot. I was a softie, but boy, did that ending, you know, really. There were several moments where I was just really moved, you know. But do you at this point, you've been a cinematographer for a good 10 years at least, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've
Did you
only done.
graduate AFI?
Yeah, I graduated at 2004. I've been doing only cinematography.
Okay, so longer.
Longer.
20 years.
Yes.
And
Time goes by.
do you feel like you've, at this point, do you have experience when you graduate from that and you get your ACI, what is it called, the American Cinematographer? Do you get that, or do you get?
No, I have a AMC, the Mexican one.
The Mexican one. That makes much more sense. you still call Mexico City home, of course. So do you find that you still are influenced by your forebears, by your padres and madres before you, or do you feel like at this point you figured it out your own?
No, I mean, every time I'm gonna start a new project, I love watching films and rewatching films and sort of
Figuring
like
out.
looking for similar scenes or like genres and learning. Like, I think when you're preparing a film, you're like even more sensitive and aware to like.
Did that come up at this time? Did you do that this time? Did you worry?
Yeah, I mean, it was a long time ago, so I forget what we watched, but yeah, I'm sorry. But we saw, there was this Romanian film where there was no dialogue at all, but it was a lot darker and more
Longer.
violent. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I probably saw that one.
Yeah, it was like on an orphanage or something.
Yeah, the Romanian New Wave was kind of simultaneous to your career. It started I'd say about 15, maybe 12, 13 years ago. So, I could see that that might be of an influence as a result. Yeah. Do you know what you're doing next?
Yeah, I'm doing a romantic comedy with Jonah Hill and Eddie Murphy. It's directed by Kenya Barris.
Don't know who they are.
Yeah.
That's big time.
And then I just finished another project with Seth Rogen and Lily James and Sebastian Stan called Pam and Tommy.
Oh, great. So did Seth Rogen introduce you to Jonah Hill?
No, I think I have worked with Kenya Barris before. So that's how it happened. And then I also did Physical at the beginning of the year with Rose Byrne for Apple.
Oh, okay. And then CODA is on the Apple platform, Apple TV platform as well.
Yeah.
Well, I can't speak highly enough about it. Honestly, I'm so grateful for the opportunity of seeing it, and I hope everybody checks it out, much buena fortuna. How do you say it in Spanish?
Buena suerte.
Good luck.
Good luck.
How do you say
Buena
it?
suerte.
Fuertes.
Suerte.
Fuertes.
With an S. S-U-E.
Suertes.
Sí.
Spell it for me again.
S-U-E-R-T-E.
Okay, suerte. Okay. Buena suerte. Did I get it right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry if I didn't, but
No, you did.
You're very nice. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. I hope you have a good afternoon.
Me too. I mean, I will. We're heading for an evening though, so soon. Anyway, nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.